Hello, welcome again to Anime Anonymous, the only AA meeting where we are going to feed your addiction. I am CJ, joined by
Ace.
and today's talk is about Demon King. I'm not going to say the whole name, it's way too long, because, everybody knows Misfit of Demon King, but, the actual name of the light novel is ridiculously long.
Yeah, it's super long.
But everybody knows Misfit of Demon King High School. So, but first things first, Ace is going to get us some knowledge on the crypto side. So, all yours.
So, thanks, CJ. So, just wanted to give like a brief opinion. Anything that I say in the podcast is not financial advice. This is just financial opinion. So, take it with a grain of salt. So right now, the markets are actually looking pretty good in the sense of the 24-hour increase. What I'm looking at right now is pretty much Ethereum, which is at $2,914.36 with a 12% increase on the day. Then Terra Luna, which is at $90.03, which is up at 25.42% for the day. And then Cardano is at 96 cents with 12.98% increase on the day. And then some of the NFT stuff that I'm looking at is the Solana NFTs. Specifically, the NFTs are related to the game Star Atlas. This is a metaverse game that allows you to have your NFTs be used and played and shown within Engine 5, Unreal Engine 5. And definitely I will be giving more info on that as the podcast continues. But just wanted to give you some food for thought to look into these coins. Star Atlas, they have a in-game currency, and then they have a governance token called Polis. So the Polis token is the long-haul gaming crypto that would probably make you very wealthy in the long run. Right now, it is on sale, but it is still decreasing just because of market circumstances and what's happening around the world with the war. But definitely just keep a lookout for it, because when staking for the token comes into effect, that's when I recommend you would start buying and then staking to get compounded interest on that. And then looking at the DeFi protocols, depending on when you're getting into the market, if you have not started yet, I would either focus on Cardano, just because the ecosystem is still being built out, so you still have time to accumulate the coin, and then figure out how you're going to use a DeFi strategy to compound your income. If you're kind of in the market, kind of understand DeFi, then I would recommend Terra Luna. It is on a rampage right now. It is the number one DeFi ecosystem crypto out right now. It's beating Avalanche, it's beating Solana, it's beating Cardano. So if you look at the top 20, I think it's at like the number 8 or number 9. It's like the same market cap as Solana right now. So Solana would be, if I had to recommend, definitely a great yield farming platform. And then for Terra Luna, I would recommend for the leverage yield farming. So if you know what that is, definitely dive in. I think this is a great opportunity. And then if you are a long-term person, diamond hands, I would do Ethereum, and I would just dollar cost average into Bitcoin. That's something where I move my profits into Bitcoin. So I don't really buy it on a week-to-week or bi-weekly basis. That's just more of at the end of the year, I kind of just split my profits, put whatever 50% into Bitcoin, 50% into a stable coin, and then I start over again. So yeah, but that is the crypto news for today. Just stay tuned for more. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them and get back to you. So now let's get into the anime. We're going to be talking about Misfit Demon King. And yeah, I just want to say that this was a hilarious and must-see anime just to run it off from there. The main character is literally a boss. Like,
he's hacks. That's what he is.
OP. He's definitely OP. Just comes out the womb, and he's just a G. Like I'm gonna let CJ get further into it and let him start it off. But
yeah, so let's start basically kind of like the whole premise of the anime. It doesn't do anything groundbreaking. Like, it's not super new or anything. It's a pretty generic anime, but it does it really well.
Yes.
So, like, there's no, like, over-the-top action or, like, over-the-top, like, story, but it knows what it is, and it does it really well, like I said.
I think so.
So, like Ace said, our dude, his main character's name is Anos. Anos Voldigold.
Yeah, Voldigold.
I love I always watch anime subbed. That's just my thing.
Yeah, I watch it subbed.
But I did listen to it in dubbed. Just I wanted to hear how he said his name. And my dude had like the deepest voice ever.
As a baby.
Like,
so
his parents are like, oh, what should we call him? Like, you know, like just how all the dubbed voices sound. And he was like, oh, my boy, we should name him. And he's like, Anos Voldigold.
Right,
like,
completely,
whoa.
completely just said, no, I know my name. This is what you guys are calling me. Like,
so like first episode kind of starts off with the Demon King like entry exams.
Right.
You start off with Anos kind of just walking in, and you see one of the other main characters. There's three main characters. It's Anos, Misha, and then it's Sasha. Sasha and Misha are sisters, and we'll talk about them a little bit more. But you see Misha, and she has like her parents. They're like cheering her on, etc. And you meet this one guy. They do say his name, but honestly, he's not worth even remembering his name. He's
who is it?
The guy who was full of himself, like with his fire ability. He's like one of the royals. They're like, oh, it's so and so.
Was he the dual wielder one?
No. It's the guy who Anos wrecks in the
beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Like, he
was talking
Anos
all that smack.
Yeah, exactly. Anos just walks by him. He's like, "You're just gonna walk by me, blah blah. I'm gonna burn you to death." And like,
and then
Anos just like blows out his
right. It was like,
thing.
"I'm gonna blow your fire out like it's a birthday candle."
Like he just sighed. Like
right.
Anos sighs and blows out this guy's power, and he is wrecked. He's like, "What did you do?" He's like, I just sighed.
Right. Like all I did was breathe.
And then we fast forward to there's like multiple parts to the exam, but the main one that anybody cares about is the fight one, and there's basically no rules.
Right.
All holds bar, like you're good. Like, and it's Anos versus Fire Guy again, and he's like decked out in all this magical equipment.
Yeah, he got his anti-demon armor on.
Like, he's like, yeah, you can't use word magic against me now. He's like, I got this flaming demon sword. He's like, that's a fake. Like, so he gets pissed off. He comes at him again, and he blows out his fire again, and he's just mad. And then this is where it's kind of cheesy, but it realizes it's cheesy, so it's funny. Anos is like, all right, I'm not going to do anything.
Right, I'm not going to move from this spot.
And then some dude starts trying to attack him, and he just starts getting blown away. And Anos, being the G that he is like, do you hear that? Right. It's my heartbeat.
He's literally whooping this man with his heartbeat. Like, completely hacks. Naruto, Sasuke, any anime character that you can think of, I don't know if they can match with that.
he's hacks. Obviously, the only other person who could possibly is like One Punch, because he's a meme, so he's supposed to beat everybody. But I don't know.
Hey, but like, One Punch Man versus Anos, we may need to see one of those like anime death matches or something.
Oh, don't even get started on that page. That page is ridiculous. Anyway. So I'm not gonna go too onto it because it's a good scene. But long story short, Anos again wrecks this guy, and they basically came up with like a deal, like whoever would basically surrender wins, and it's I think this magic is called Zech or something like that. It's a pact.
Yeah, that's like the magic promise or something.
Yeah. So he's like, "Ha, idiot! I'm never gonna surrender." And Anos is like, "Oh, really?" And like Anos like snaps his fingers and kills the guy.
Him.
Like kills him
instantly.
No bones, no nothing, just killed,
obliterated.
And then he resurrects him. And he makes a joke. He's like, I call that my like 3-second rule.
Oh yeah.
And, like nobody laughs, and he's like, dang, that would have killed like 2,000 years ago. And that's just kind of referencing like he's reincarnated. He's the Demon King reincarnated 2,000 years later. And nobody reacts. And the guy's like, oh, like what just happened? Blah blah blah. Keeps killing him. Like every time he's snapping his fingers, he keeps killing him. And he's just like, hey, there's this crazy idea that scientists have or philosophers have that every time you die and you're reborn, you're not the same person.
Right.
Can you tell me about this? Like, he's just nonchalant, just killing the dude,
over
resurrecting
and
him.
over and over. I'm like...
Yeah. And then he finally gives up. Yeah. Like, finally. Like, after...
Dying, that's like 30 times?
Probably. I think they only showed like maybe 8, but he was
it
killing
felt
him.
like it was just...
He was just every second, just boom dead.
From snapping his fingers. So,
yeah.
As you can see, first episode, if you're killing somebody from a heartbeat, from snapping your fingers and blowing out their magical firepower with a normal breath, you're hacks. You're okay. Yeah. So, if that doesn't get you excited to watch this episode, hey... just stay tuned because we got some more heat and more fire to bring y'all. Yeah,
which, if you listened to last episode, you already know my rating. But we'll get to that way later. But they also talk about a little bit about the other tests they do, which is like to ask you like what's the true name of the Demon King. Which you're not supposed to say it, but like in that test you're allowed to. And then there's another one, like one of the questions that stuck out to me was like, oh, you have 2 children and they're both about to die. One has really high Demon King aptitude, but 0 magical power. And then the other one's the flip side of the coin. Amazing magical power, but no Demon King power. Who do you save? And he's like, duh, save both. But like that his test scores basically come back undefined because he doesn't answer how he's supposed to answer, and it's like he's like,
well,
what?
so with that, I thought that it was he answered them incorrectly. I thought that because technically, when Misha took the test, she was answering them correct, giving them 100%, boom, boom, boom. But when Anos answered it, all of his answers are wrong.
They're technically wrong, but the reason I say undefined is because they're not. They're like, who the heck chooses these?
Right.
You can't do both. And he's like, yeah, Demon King can do both.
Right.
Like,
that's
he's like, this is obvious.
Yeah, that's
like,
literally what a Demon King is. They literally, I forget how he defined it. I think it was a Demon King kind of like emits his reign or like his, how do I say it? It's more like whatever he chooses and makes into reality, that's what a Demon King is. Like, they just, whatever they want, they just make it happen.
Yeah, because he rules over everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he, but like, that's, I don't know, that's, even though he's hacks, I think the reason I like this anime so much is like, he's not a douche. If that's the easy, like, there's a lot of characters that are like OP in animes that are either like, they annoy you, one way or the other. Generally, it's one way. They're like either really stupid, or 2, I just don't like them. They're like unlikable. But he's likable for other reasons. Like for instance, like we reference his parents, right? So there's this whole thing in nowadays, like when he was in the world 2,000 years later, that there's royals and there's misfits. And the royals are the ones that are straight from the bloodline of the Demon King, and the misfits are mixed blood, so they're like second-class citizens. And he was like, that was never a thing when I was Demon King. Like, who made this? That's stupid. So he's technically a misfit because his parents don't have royal blood, and he's literally the supreme being, but he treats them like parents. Like, he loves the hell out of his mom, loves the hell out of his dad.
And that makes you love the character.
Yeah, because, like, literally, like, he could be like, you guys are peasants. Like, I could literally blink and probably kill you. Like, right. Like, because that's just how ridiculous he is. But he loves it. His mom makes literally one dish, and he absolutely loves it. It's like some mushroom thing, and he's just like, oh, yes, this is the best thing ever. I'm like, you used to be royalty.
Right,
like,
it's no way.
You were probably having some OD meals.
Right.
And you're eating this, like, mushroom goulash. He's
soup.
like, oh, this is amazing.
Literally eating mushroom soup, and he's acting like he loves it. But yeah. I think those moments make you love the character because you're able to relate to either the family members, the way he makes friends, the way he just interacts and treats everyone with respect. Even the way when he first encountered, I think her name is Misha.
That's the silver-haired one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when he met Misha and the sister Sasha, the two sisters, one's on the royalty side, one's on the hybrid side. As CJ said earlier. So usually everyone else in the school, what they're doing is they kind of look down on the hybrids. Not kind of look down. They do look down. They do look down, yeah. They do look down on the hybrids, and he just treats everyone the same. Now, what I love about how he interacts with them is that he completely curves the teacher over and over again. Like, the teacher's trying to set him up for failure. It was like one competition in where they had to go into his castle and find the secret weapon and all that, and they supposed to get 100% score. So they end up, he knows the secret way, he knows his castle. They get down there, they find the artifact, the weapon, and they get back. The teacher steals the weapon, gets another student to hide it into his body.
Yeah.
And then tries to pretend like, oh, so because you found the weapon, but we weren't able to appraise the weapon before it got stolen, we're just going to give you a C.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, it's probably fake, blah, blah, blah.
And I'm like, but if it was royalty, you wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But because he has the other hybrid uniform on, now y'all trying to play games. So he literally, like a boss, stepped up. One of the kids that stole it was, talking. So he ended up using his demon eyes, literally looked at him, said, oh, that's where it is, right in plain sight. Puts his hand in his body in class, pulls the weapon out, and then hands it to the professor like, yeah, you need to step up your game and be up there.
Well, like, that's the thing. Like, he kind of, it's not like he's looking down on her either. He's just like, this is like childish stuff. Like, why are you doing this? Because like, even before when they were teaching about like the castle forming one,
the competition, the 3-on-3.
No, just the magic, magic of it. It's called like guys or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He was like, oh, it's wrong, and she was like, oh, it's wrong. No,
oh,
it's not,
right,
blah,
right,
blah, blah.
right.
He was like, yeah, I fixed this when I was later in my life, and he fixes it, and now it's like all like way stronger. She's like, oh my gosh.
I think he doubled the power of it.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Like the lady said that, it can only go up by like maybe a couple percentages, and then he does that one little correction,
fixes it,
doubles the power of it.
Like, just right there, you should probably be like, I should probably not mess with this guy,
right?
Since he just immediately changed the power on my thing. But no, she's an idiot and just keeps messing with him. And then
completely don't understand her.
And then when you meet Sasha later, you meet her quote unquote later. The one thing I do like is like, this was a short anime, but they handle things in little arcs again. They're they're not as story driven or like really deep, but they kind of handle stuff very quickly. It's not like they introduce something in episode 1 and like episode 6 you're still on that subject.
Right. Give us an example of like
so a quick fast forward. So you meet Sasha, and one of his questions was like, if you're sisters, why is your sister royalty? Why are you not? And why is she looking down on you? And she kind of looks down on him too, and he says her eyes are beautiful, which totally throw her off because she has like the eyes of destruction.
Right.
And usually like people fear her because of it. So fast forwarding, talking about the castle one that she joins his team because he beats them in a guys off or whatever. Right. It's literally him against 10 people, and he beats them with like the lowest flame skill ever.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because again he's him, and so she teams up with him, and it's him, Misha, and Sasha, and they're like, yeah, I know. He's like, I know where my rod or the staff is, and like one of the funny things is like, oh yeah, there's a secret pathway, and they're like, I don't see a secret pathway. Is like there a door here? Dude just walks through a wall, like just breaks down a wall just by brute force, and they're like, "Oh,
there it is."
Okay, and so he brings them to like his vault, and they're looking at stuff. Misha wants to pick something out for Sasha for her birthday or whatever. And she gets her like the phoenix coat because her powers are flames. Mm-hmm. And then you have Sasha quote unquote turn evil and like try to kill Misha, blah blah blah, and then you kind of get the whole backstory of them. Right. So and that happens in what 1, 2, max 3 episodes. Like it's
one episode, quick. Yeah.
Well, because episode 1 ended with him like beating the guy he killed several times. So I want to say it's either 2 or 3, because again they all kind of bleed together in my head.
Same.
Where I want to say it's 2 and 3. So she quote unquote kills Misha. Misha's telling them their story that basically Misha's not supposed to exist. They tried to do like this spell to make like the perfect being of like merging people.
But I think they were trying to make the perfect demon. I think that was Ivis's spell, and he split them up so that they can both grow and then eventually be put back together,
reunited to be when they turn
15.
I swear it's 15 because in anime 15 is like a huge number for people. I don't understand why.
I don't get that one.
But Misha says, I'm not supposed to exist. That's why I didn't really want us to celebrate my birthday. I want to celebrate Misha's or Sasha's because she's the original. And they go. Sasha's all on her BS, like, oh, if you can beat this, then you can do this, yada yada yada. He sees through it. Turns out Sasha just wants to save Misha because she thinks she's better. And then step in, overpowered Anos. He's like, if you guys want to live, put your faith in me. And immediately they're just like, oh my gosh, yes, we're going to put our faith in you. And he does a skill, I want to say it's like revive or something. Basically stop, like he's like, we're going to go back in time and merge your sources. Sources. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, well, both of you are half sources. So if we go back in time and merge your source with the time back then, it's a full source.
Right.
And they're like, how are you going to do that? He's like, I'm me. Don't worry about it. So they go back in time, and this man, with the things that he says, so they're going in time, and then boom, like you see like this giant monster start coming out. Like, what are you doing?
Timekeeper or something?
And he's like, he's the guardian of time. Like, you do this, he kind of shows up. He doesn't like it. He's like, hey, can you just like look away at this one time? And they're like, Anos, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, all right, I guess I gotta fight this guy. So he puts up like these barriers. They're fighting. He's like, just trust in me. Dude gets like a scythe through the chest, and you're like, this dude's dead. Like, holy crap. And then the girls are like, yeah, we believe in you, blah, blah, blah. And then enter Anos again. He's just like, you think stabbing me through the heart's enough to kill me? It's like, what? Yes.
I'm like, is this man
that's usually how life works. You should be dead. And he's like, that's not enough to kill me.
And he has so many moments like that where it's like, if I stab someone in the heart, yeah, they should be dead.
They should die.
If the God of time stops time for everything around, I should not be moving. And he said something like, he was like, you think just because you can stop time, you can stop me? I'm like, yeah, that was the thought.
It's the funniest thing because he's not even saying it like he's cocky or anything. Right. He's just like, it's like a fact.
It's literally a fact.
He's like, you think that's going to kill me? No, that's not. And
so in this episode, I definitely want y'all to pay attention to the commentary. And this was something that I, when I first saw it, I definitely overlooked, was not really keen on hanging on to what he was actually saying until you brought it up to me, another day.
Yeah.
And I was
comedy.
Like, yo, this guy is hilarious.
Straight comedy. Like, hilarious.
Man, I'm just like, this was a very enjoyable.
Yeah, and that's it.
Show.
That's what it is. It's enjoyable. It's not like I said, it's not, the story is not amazing in it, but it's not bad. Right. Like, action in it's not over the top. You're not gonna have like some like Fate action sequences or recently Demon Slayer sequences, right. But the action's still good.
Yeah, the action is top notch. So don't sleep on the action. We're not saying that the action is not there. The action is definitely there. That's definitely one of the key points that I enjoyed about the show. Mm-hmm. It was just once I rewatched it and then started paying attention to the actual conversation, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, this guy, he's just him. Yeah. And like, he doesn't really look down on people. There's only one time, which I'll talk kind of later, because again, I try not to really spoil the anime too much. I want this to kind of be like, ooh, I heard this, I want to watch it. Now when it comes to movies, when we're doing movies, it might be, we probably will just say spoilers, because like, it's how can you tough. Not? Yeah. Like, oh, this was an hour movie. Well, it was good. Like, right. You're gonna have to talk about stuff, so those will be spoilers. But animes, I'm trying to keep them as spoiler free as possible. But there's one scene that I absolutely loved, and this is later on after he's done more hack stuff. Like there's one character that he's helping, and his there's a tournament where you have to have a sword to participate. And his there's two scenes, because I'm going to talk about that one first. I just thought of it, where his dad literally like tries his hardest to make a sword, and it's not even great. But like, because he's so strong, he just beats people. And instead of saying like, this is my power, like, he was like, this is because this was made by an amazing craftsman. My father made it out of love. And like, his dad just starts crying. He's like, oh, that's my boy. Like, and then like, his mom is just hilarious. She's the comedy. She's like, oh, I can't believe he's only a month old. Like, and people always think she's joking, but like, he literally is like a month old. Like, he's just been aging really fast. But later on, you have to protect the sword to stay in the tournament. So he gives it to his mom, and he's like, hey, Mom, hold on to this for me. She's like, yeah, I'll protect it. And enter stupid teacher again. Oh, yeah. Teacher, her brother was the one who lost to him, so she's mad about it. And she's like,
I missed that.
Yeah, that's her brother. Yeah, that was her brother.
I was trying to figure out her motive for...
Outside of her just being an idiot, like, and not liking him, yeah, it was her brother. She thought her brother was going to just wreck him, and he wrecked the brother. So, like, he has, like, this whole little fan group. They're trying to protect the mom. She kind of waxes them because, again, she is a teacher and she's a royal, so generally royals have stronger power, is what they say. And then she goes after his mom. And that was the wrong thing
the biggest
do.
mistake. Yeah, the biggest mistake she could have ever done.
So my guy takes her and just transports to the arena. And she's like, oh, what are you going to do? Like, he was like, you know what? I've been kind of, and this obviously isn't what he's saying, but like my paraphrasing of it, he's like, I've been kind of letting it slide. But he was like, you went after the one person you should not have gone after. And he just like slowly stabs her through the back. And you're like, ooh.
Yeah, it's
painful.
You feel the pain.
And he's just like, he's basically telling her, like, say you're sorry. And she's like, I won't. Like, when he first starts stabbing her, and then he just starts going, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And like, she's just screaming out of pain.
Yeah, her facial expression in that is just...
And then she tells him to kill her or whatever. And he does. But then he resurrects her. And she was like, what'd you do? And he said, yeah, you've had this whole thing about misfits, huh?
Yeah, and hybrids.
Yeah, you are one now. And she was like, no, there's no way. She was like, I'm a royal. He's like, no, you're a hybrid. You're a hybrid now. And so she tries to kill herself. And she can't. He's like, yeah, I put a thing where you will stay immortal until you understand, like, equality, basically. Right. And she is just devastated. Just sitting there devastated. And then he comes back to his mom, thanks her for, like, saving it. And again, like, he's just, like, you see that he cares. He cares for everybody. Right. But, like, his parents obviously have a very special place in his heart, which is cool to see. Sure, yeah. Especially for him, who's just overpowered. Like usually, some of the tropes that you see in anime is like when somebody reaches God level, all their emotions like cease to exist. Mm-hmm. But like he started off rip being somebody who cared. Like they even mention it when he was a Demon King. One of the most evil things that he ever did was, he wiped out a whole city. But no, if you actually look at it, what did he do? They were having a war. Everybody was being hurt. And instead of just trying to go and heal everybody by themselves, he was just like, the fastest and easiest way, kill them all, resurrect them. Right. At full health, full everything.
And rebuild everything.
So he did it out of care for them. He's just like, why should they sit there and be hurt? Boom, dead. Boom, you're back, and you're good. So like he's always had that, and one of the running plots is him kind of trying to figure out what happened to basically the human individual, like that became his friend eventually, Hero Cannon.
Oh,
and you learn about him. That's a cool little plot line. He's like, hey, like you kind of. There's a character, and he's like, you kind of remind me of him, and he's like, I feel like I recognize you too, and it's just like, who is this person? He could be this person, or he could be this other person, because there's like two swordsmen that he knows from the past, and you're like, who is it? Right. And it's good. And then you also, the other plot line is him trying to figure out who the fake Demon King is, because his name is Anos Voldigold, and like the fake one is like Avos Dilhevia, something. I don't know. Like that, yeah. It's like a little bit of a flip, and he's like, who the heck is that? And that's another plot line that again gets tied up at the end. So shockingly, I did not expect it, but this anime is getting a second season, so I'm hyped for it. But I'm like,
that's exciting.
I thought it kind of ended well. Like it did end with like a slight cliffhanger.
Yeah, very slight.
Like, what's going on? But then you're like, that's just how they're ending it. And then I was like, wait, it's getting a second season? Okay,
we will definitely be reviewing that.
So we're definitely going to review that when it comes out. But there's a lot that we could talk about. But again, I'd rather you watch it and then talk to us about it. Right. Like you can talk to us on our Insta, X Anime Anonymous X, or Twitter. Our name is too long to be the exact same. I found that out. So it's X Anime Anonymous. There is no X at the back because it's too long of a name. But hit us up anywhere on there. And then, like I said, we are finishing up doing the final touches on the Discord. But that's going to be like the main hub to talk to us and then do your own kind of recommendations for stuff. But outside of that, I think we're good. We can kind of give our rating. Again, if you were here last episode, you already know mine. So I'm going to let Ace go first. What do you think?
So I guess after, talking to you about it right now on the podcast, my rating has changed just a little bit. And I also want to say that it's changed because after watching it twice, I was able to get the full content and kind of digest everything. So okay, hold on. My first time going through, I would have ranked it as a 7.5 at first. But then once you start putting all the great aspects together, you got the comedy, you got the fights. Shout out to Ray. So when you guys get to that part,
shout out to Ray.
Let me know how y'all feel about him. So once you get the comedy, then you get the fighting, then you get the emotional strings being pulled with how he is protecting his friends and family. It kind of just brought it all home, and I think it was just a quality. I believe it was 13 episodes. So I think it was just a quality season, and the fact that it's coming out with a season 2. I'm going to give it a 9.5 to a 10. I don't have any complaints. I can't even think of anything wrong, so I really need to just give it a 10. I think the only reason I gave it a 7.5 the first time is because I missed so much. Like, I was just focused on the action, and that was about it. So, so now that I put the whole thing together, definitely I would rank it as a 10. What do you think, CJ?
I'm going to rate it as a 9. Because, which is funny because I rated Bunny Girl as a 9 too. But this is for different reasons. The story in Bunny Girl is a lot better.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I'm left with a lot of questions. This one, I don't really have questions. But again, like, the only reason it's a 9 is because it's kind of a generic anime. Like, it didn't do anything. So, like, it's very hard to get a 10 out of me.
Okay.
You're going to learn this in this show. It has to, like, hit either heartstrings with me, because one of my favorite anime ever is Angel Beats. But I will say the story in it's not amazing, but just how certain things happen, it's personally a 10 for me.
What's the ranking on Angel Beats? I haven't seen it, guys, just so y'all know.
So this is like previews. This is previews.
This is some alpha here.
Now the funny thing is, we're not rating Angel Beats next week, so this is a preview for whenever that episode comes out. But personally, it's a 10 for me.
So Alpha Beats, Angel Beats is a 10, but he just said that it was not a great story.
The story of like certain things, the overbranching story, I really like.
Okay,
but there's certain parts in the episodes where you're like, do you really need to talk about this?
Now, did you have any of those moments watching Misfit Demon?
No.
So now I'm confused.
But here's the thing. It's not deep. Like, Angel Beats does get deep in certain spots. And you're just like, ooh, that. And, like, once you watch it, you'll get where I'm coming from. And you don't have to rate it a 10. That's fine. This is why we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
I like having somebody else, or else I'd just be droning on by myself. That's just lame.
So, I'm just messing with you. Giving you a hard time.
But no, like, I liked it a lot. I am interested in the second season. I want to see what happens with that.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a 9 for me, because just at the end of the day, it wasn't like anything amazing, but again, it wasn't bad. It knew what it was. The creators knew what they were doing, and they took a generic couple tropes and they did it well. So definitely a 9 for me. And then the next one that we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about, well, actually, you know what? It'll be your choice because I chose last time, so you can choose. I know we spoke about a couple, so what do you want to review?
So when we were on the elevator, what was the two that...
So we did talk about No Game No Life, and then we also did talk about Megalobox. I know you're a sucker for fighting.
Right.
So...
That's kind of an easy one, though. Now, I really enjoyed Megalobox. The storyline plus the action. So you guys already know. If you haven't already, I've said it in the first episode. I'm going to say it in every single one if I remember. I love action anime. That's my like reason to watch these. Grew up on DBZ and One Piece and Bleach. If you know anything about those, then you understand where I'm coming from. So, that's easy. I'm going to choose Megalobox.
Okay.
The story, the action.
Hey, whoa.
The grind.
They got to tune in for that. Hold on.
I'm just like, I'm excited.
You got to get to 3 for that.
I'm giving y'all some alpha leaks right now.
In that case, so next week's episode will be Megalobox, season 1, because there are 2 seasons. And then the next episode of that, which is what I'm excited for, we're going to be talking about the movie Rascal Does Not Dream of Dreaming Girl. I think that's how that's the full name of it. But it's basically the sequel to Rascal Doesn't Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Right. So I'm hyped for that one because, like I said before, that ties the anime in a bow. So that is like, if that's like a 15 out of 10 for me, which again, like I said, it's hard to get a 10 out of me.
And that's why I'm saving it. We're going to do one little Megalobox and then that movie. I am super excited for that.
Yep. So thank you again for joining us. Catch us next week and the week after that. I'm CJ.
And this is Ace.
And we'll catch you next AA meeting. Peace.
Peace.